What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, 50th Warframe Styanax is coming out with the Veilbreaker update sometime in September, and we will be going over the abilities for Styanax, all the information we currently know, and actually taking a step further. I had some users in my Discord server doing some nerd math, calculating some stuff on his abilities, so we basically know a lot more than DE initially told us about Styanax, and we'll be going over the information today. We're also going to show how his abilities work, and what you can expect from him. Because remember, this frame is being given out for free for 2 weeks in September, just for signing in, as far as we can tell. So, nearly everyone in the game will have this frame, so let's see what he's going to be doing once you get access to him. Also, I think Styanax looks really cool, just saying that real quick. He has a really awesome helmet, reminds me of Saint 14. Before we get into it, though, make sure you're subbed to this channel. Make sure the live stream channel as well. We live stream lots of Warframe and other games on the channel. Alright, so we're going to start with his first ability. Styanax's first ability is going to be called Axios Javelin. And we have some actual display of gameplay footage here of how this ability will work from DE on their dev stream. And yeah, so we're going to mute them. So the way this is going to work is basically you're going to throw a javelin, and if it hits an enemy and pins them to a wall, or like a floor even, it will make a mini vortex on their person. This vortex is moddable by range. It does some damage as well, and it's going to be an ability you're going to be casting a lot on Styanax. But at the same time, maybe a weapon would be better than casting this in the first place. So going over the stats for the abilities that we have access to from what they've shown on screen and what we've calculated. So we've got a initial range. Here, let me bring up the nerd math here. So it's going to be 15 energy cost, a 50 meter cast range, 1250 puncture damage on hit, and then 8-second duration, modeled by duration. And there will also be a explosion, which is going to have a base radius of 15 meters, presumably the vortex as well. And that range of the vortex will be modelable by range as well. So he's a frame you're going to want lots of range on. I'm guessing some strength too. Similar, I'm thinking like a Zaku build on this guy, where you're going to want a lot of range. You're going to want some strength. Now, when we go over his second ability, you're not going to need too much strength, most likely. Additionally, something I missed in my video from yesterday on the dev stream is they're actually changing how armor strip abilities work in general. So, armor strip ability is just going to... There was like some weird inconsistencies with them before, where it's like, okay, this says 70%, but it's not actually 70% of their full armor, it's 70% of their current armor. So it'd be like, I have to cast this ability like 5 times to get rid of this guy's armor. All that goofy, weird stuff is going away. From now on, if an ability says remove 75% of their armor, it's going to take 2 casts. So 75, it's going to be 75% of the full armor they have, then the next cast will be all the rest of that armor. So it's a big buff to armor strip abilities, and it's not just going to be Ash only going forward. So for the second ability, we've got this is going to be his armor. The reason I just said armor strip there is because this is an armor stripping and shield stripping ability right here. Let's first go over the description of what it does before we show how it works in game. Summon Tharos, the shield of Styanax. Swing Tharos to repel enemies and reduce their shields and armor. Styanax regenerates health for every enemy struck. Keep in mind, this is his Helminth ability, so if you have an extra copy of Styanax, you can sacrifice Styanax to the Helminth chair and give this ability to other frames. So it's going to be an armor and shield removal for all frames. And thanks to the nerd math people on Discord, mostly Save. Thank you, Save, for doing this nerd math. It's going to be 25 energy cost, base, 9 meter range, modelable by range, 1000 damage from impact, modelable by strength, 100 health regen per enemy hit, apparently modelable by strength. And then it's going to be 50% base defense reduction. Armor and shield modelable by strength. So 50% at base is pretty high, especially for a Helminth skill. But something you also want to keep in mind as well is they say they will be buffing Necros Terrify ability, which is his Helminth, to 75% base. Terrify might become the new meta armor strip ability. Just saying. Because it's AoE, it's very easy to use. And then here's the second ability. Let's see if they actually press the button. Okay, this is the clip that they put on their stream for the second ability. They picked a terrible mission to display this on, by the way. So basically, he throws. Okay, so it's that second skill right there. He throws the multiple darts out. So he casts the 1 and the 2. So the idea of this gameplay loop will be. We'll go over all the abilities first, but basically, it's an armor strip in front of you that heals you as well. So it seems pretty good, kind of like a health version of Pillage, I guess I'd call it. And yeah, I mean, 50% base is not amazing, but it's got a built-in heal too, so maybe you'll get some value out of that. Now, we don't know the exact stats for his third ability, which is going to be his buff ability. They actually did not hover over this, and the only footage we have of it is them talking about it and showing it
Here we go. So this
in this limited fashion. So we're going to talk about it. So what this does is his third ability, buffs allies in range. It's mobbable by range, 30-second duration, mobbable by duration, and it's going to give you energy regen per second and shield on kill. So if you kill, like let's say right here, this guy they're about to kill. Let me see if I can slow this down. Once you kill him, they'll be getting over 100 shields because they have modded by strength here. So as you see right there, we went from 1847, I think it was, shield to 1994. So yes, each kill will give you like 100 shields basically. And that first ability looks really cool. So that's an aura for yourself and your teammates. So he might just be completely broken with shield gating, honestly. Energy regen's really good, and I mean shield gating is completely imba. It's always been imbalanced. So yeah, this buff seems crazy good. Especially because it's going to work on your teammates too. It's like, okay, we have a Styanax in our squad. Everyone is armor stripped, or all the enemies are armor stripped. We're invincible. I'm getting energy regen, and I'm grouping up enemies very easily. Now we're going to go over his last ability, potentially the most underwhelming, honestly. Like, it just seems like a kind of like a generic, like, cool-looking ability. But let's go over the stats of it first. And this one is called the Final Stand. Now what Styanax will do for his fourth ability, the ultimate, you will launch into the air and just fire a barrage of javelins. We don't have much gameplay footage to go off of because there was only one enemy left when they cast this. But yeah, I also forgot to mention earlier that Styanax's passive is the more shields he currently has, the more crit chance he will get. It's going to be per every 100 shields, you get 2.5% crit chance. And it's not additive as far as we can tell, but that might change in the future. So that's Styanax's ulti. Basically jump in the air. See if I can get a we're going to slow it down here so you can actually see what's happening. Now these do, I believe, puncture damage, but as you can see right there, there's a force slash proc. These spears have force slash procs on them, so they should be okay at scaling, but the base damage isn't that high in the first place. So these force slash procs, I mean, that was like a 1300 right there with some power strength in the build. So yeah, so the entire gameplay loop of Styanax and the way you're going to play him, or at least the way I envision him being played, is you're going to want to have his third ability active at all times, which is going to be your energy regen and shields on kill. Just an amazing buff to have all the time. So have that active. Then be spamming his one. Be trying to pin enemies and group enemies up as much as possible. If that enemy is not dead already, either armor strip them or use your 4. Probably both. So just a refresher here. The entire gameplay loop I'm thinking of with Styanax is, okay, so we go in, shield buff is active, enemies are right here, throw the spear at them. They're grouped up. If they're not dead yet, you either shoot with a gun, hit them with a melee, or armor strip them, and then start throwing spears. I really feel like his spear throw ability, unless it's like ridiculously strong, that might be the Helminth ability, honestly, that we take off. Because the way I look at it is that my weapons are stronger than what that spear throw is doing, the fourth ability. So they're going to really need to convince me on that one, especially since his passive gives him crit on weapons. Why would I use his 4? Unless it can like do some crazy crit stuff. Yeah, I think that his 4 will be taken out maybe for... Since we want shields, maybe put like Harrow's Condemn on his 4. It will stun enemies. It will give you shields back. I think he's going to have plenty of shields for sure. But yeah, there's going to be quite a few options. There's always Roar, of course. Some people on Twitch chat were saying Condemn could be good, though. And I kind of agree with that. Make him kind of like a mini Harrow, but with different types of buffs than Harrow. Instead of having to get kills to give energy to his teammates, it's going to be some like flat, I think it's like 3 energy per second modelable by strength. Which if you look at Gyre's third ability... I believe that was 3 modelable by strength too. That is not a lot of energy regen. So he's not going to really be a support at all. It's just going to be like a nice little added bonus. So yeah. Energy rate. Okay, no. Gyre's energy rate is terrible. So let me make sure I'm reading this right. So Styanax is going to give 3 energy regen per second. I'm guessing that's... I don't know if that's with strength or not. With a 213% power strength build on Gyre, I get to 3.2%. And that's only for me. This ability sucks. Okay, well, never mind the fact that Gyre's third is not very good, apparently. Styanax is going to be pretty cool, and you're going to all have access to him once the update comes out. I'm looking forward to him. Definitely look out for builds on the channel coming out when he's released as well. Yeah, just, you know, I think his helmet ability will be really good, but then again, we might be in a new, like, the Terrify meta, where Terrify is doing 75% armor strip at base without strength, and that's like one power strength mod is going to be a full AoE armor strip. Now, of course, it doesn't have an enemy effect count, but 20 enemies affected at base is not bad at all. Think about it. Terrify currently has 20% armor strip. It's going to 75. They're over tripling how much armor strip it does. And then there's those, like, across the board armor strip changes going through as well, where that 75 will actually be 75. So, hope you guys found that video helpful. I think Styanax sounds kind of cool. I don't think he'll be meta at all. I think he'll be, like, I think he'll be better than Gyre. Like, I feel like Gyre completely fell off the face of the earth once, after, like, the first, like, couple days, actually. I think Styanax will be actually a somewhat popular frame. Never mind the fact everyone's being given him for free. That will make him popular for sure. But yeah, I just think the abilities seem pretty fun. Even though, like, I'm, like, thinking of, like, a really meta perspective, I'm sure his 4 will look really cool. It will be relatively powerful for the content you're playing. But, like, as like a meta player, I just look at it and I'm like, why would I ever use his 4 besides trying to look cool? Either way, guys, I'll see you next time. Take it easy and peace.